Introduced in February 2017, making it 9 years old, Instagram carousels are a post format that allows users to share multiple photos or videos in one post. Although at one point it seemed to be overshadowed by its fellow content format, Reels, it seems carousels are back and better than ever, as Instagram has started to pay more attention with new updates and more. I have a question for you, Manu, in regards to this new renaissance of carousels. Why are Instagram carousels such a powerful format for engagement and growth on Instagram?
Yeah, so carousels, for people who don't know this or don't realize this, is the only format of content on Instagram that you can show up in your audience's feeds or scrolls multiple times. Because if you follow my account and I post a carousel, you open the app and then you see the first page of my carousel. Then you go away, do something else. Next time you open the app, Instagram is going to show you the second page of my carousel and then the third page and the fourth page. Of course, that depends on how much you engage with my content and how much priority my content gets on your scroll. But it is the only type of content that will show up and people scroll multiple times. And I think that's why we see a great amount of engagement and reach through carousels, aside the fact that you are also able to serve more content. So all those things are pretty
I think a lot
positive.
of people don't realize that you're able to serve so much content using just one post. And I think it kind of goes above their head because we're just like, okay, I could do a photo dump and post like all of the photos from my vacation. And it's like, all
Yeah.
right, great, here it is. But there's a lot of power behind that because, as you said, we could post multiple compared to, normally in comparison would be single images. And you literally, if they say photo is 1,000 words, then how many words is an actual carousel worth? I think it's quite a bit when you break it down in that aspect.
You have to multiply the 1,000 words that you put on your carousel with the 1,000 words that it's
Yeah,
worth it, and then it's
exactly,
like a million
exactly.
words.
It really is full of great potential in a way
Yeah.
that it's really pushing it to the next level. So I want to ask you as well, Megan, about why are Instagram carousels such a powerful format for engagement and reach on the platform?
Well, definitely agree with what has been said already, but it really allows us to package a bigger message in a streamlined way that impacts our people, and it can really give depth to that topic that you're sharing about, or that, if it is a photo dump, it allows people to really feel like they're, there with you more, so like they got to see all the little details, and it kind of paints a picture of the whole thing in one easy digestible piece of content, right? That's the other thing about carousels that's so powerful, is it's easy to digest because you're really following that like storyline. And I'll also say they're so powerful. They're popular because they're very savable and shareable because they can have all of that stuff in one. And I'm curious from everybody in the audience, because I love consuming carousels. I know a lot of people love just reels, but let us know in the comments, do you like when your creators that you follow post carousels? The post with multiple slides, yes or
You
no?
guys heard the question. We're kind of all sharing the idea of the fact that you could do much more in a carousel than just a single image. And I think to a certain degree, you can evolve Reels with that as well, because with Reels, and I want to kind of go into why I think it's such a great content format for engagement and reach. One of the things I've noticed about carousels, it uses multiple senses compared to all of the other content formats. And what I mean by that is pretty much when you look at a carousel, yeah, you're looking at it with your eyes. There's a new feature where you can now listen to it. So you're using your audio. But there's a feature that we don't even really consider because it's just so native into the content format. And that's the touch. You literally have to engage with this piece of content to actually intake into it. If there's 5 slides in the carousel, you have to physically use your finger and scroll. And what that does to me is it engages you into that content format even deeper. When you're using eyes, you're using ears, you're using your fingers to interpret the content, I think it dives you deeper into the content where when you walk away from it, depending on what the messaging is, you now feel a little bit closer and more receptive to say, okay, I want to engage back, whether it's with a like or a comment or even a share, because you're a little bit more connected to that piece of content. And compared to reels and single images, I don't feel like they have that type of connection. So I feel like those are some of just the many reasons of why carousels are such a game changer, in my opinion, in regards to increasing engagement and reach.
Maybe that's the tip for Mosseri, like a scratch and sniff feature for
Please
characters. That's the last one that we
do
needed.
not give
Maybe you can use
Instagram
your
that
phone.
idea. They will run with it and think it's the biggest thing in the world. We do not need this. Could you imagine? You see, like walking in the streets, and people like, "All right, I know what time it is for lunch."
Oh
It's great to
gosh.
it's good to see them
Sorry.
updating the carousels, and I think that it's at a certain point I thought that they kind of forgot about carousels because they put so much emphasis on reels. It was reels this and reels that, and we know from the numbers, from my understanding, Masari has stated that reels get about 50% of the attention on Instagram, and I understand, they had to move in that direction. The audience, no matter what people say, as much as we love photos, the audience is craving video. We look at it even beyond Instagram with Netflix and Disney Plus and all of these other platforms. The audience today wants video, but at the same time, there's other ways that you could utilize video, whether you pair it with photos or you just use strictly photos and images like Carousels allows you to do. So those are just some of the ways that we think that Carousels is a powerful format for you to consider as a creator on Instagram.